This conference will now be recorded.
So the next thing that we're going to go ahead and look at is the transfer funds functionality in CourtView. It's essentially just that. You can transfer money from one case to another. So this is more commonly used when a defendant has multiple cases and say one of the cases has some bail sitting in it, and in that case is bail holding account, and the court wants to transfer over some of that bail over to a new case that they have to pay off the fines and fees. And that's what exactly we're going to do right now. So we're going to go ahead and pull up that screen, which is located in financial management. So we're going to go modules, financial management. Location, you can go ahead and put it wherever you need to. Typically, it's just front counter. You're going to see this little AR flag, which I think is important. And one thing that is important to remember about transfer funds is that CourtView will not transfer funds between two cases that are one in AR and the other is not. It doesn't matter if the to case or the from case, either of them both of them have to be in AR, or both of them have to be out of AR. It can't be a mix and match situation. So for this one, like I said, we're not going to be discussing AR, but if you do have two cases that are in AR, you can go ahead and check that box. But again, we're not looking at AR. We're going to hit the gray box, and you can search in your case number here. So we're going to go ahead and put in the case that has some money sitting in bail. So that's a 19TR. Okay. You can hit search, you highlight the case that you want to choose, and then on the left-hand side, you'll hit the first dynamic link. That's going to populate all the cases information on the left-hand side, the from side. You'll have your case number, who it was received by, on behalf of, and then it'll list the defendant, or if it's someone else, the prosecutor, so on and so forth. Typically, it's defendant. Below, we're going to see some of the dockets that have money associated to them. What we're going to go ahead and do is just do this cash bill posted. So let's go ahead and set this up first. So now that we have the from case, we want to put in the case that's going to be receiving the money, also known as the to case. Once again, the information on that case is going to populate. Down below here, you're going to see these holding accounts. This is going to apply to the from case. This is letting us know that we have $300 received. We have $300 balance sitting in here in this cash bill posted. This is similar to what we see in the cost screen and the bottom where it's the holding accounts. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to actually go ahead and pay off the fines and fees on this case using the cash bill from 19TR4. Okay. So in order to select that docket, each one's going to have a little checkbox on the left of it. We're going to select that cash bill posted. And we're going to go ahead and put in $225 because that's how much the fines and fees are on the other case. Awesome. So once we tab off, you're going to see that it does the same thing that the receipting does, where it takes in that priority queue and it tries to pay off the docket with the highest priority. So once we tab,
This conference will now be recorded.
okay, so the next thing that we're going to go ahead and look at is the transfer funds functionality in CourtView. And it does essentially that. It takes money from one case, also known as the from case, and transfers it over to another case, a to case. So it's located in the financial management section of CourtView. So we're going to go modules, financial management, functions, transfer funds. Location is going to be the default field that it goes to. We can just go ahead and put front counter. One thing that I do want to make very clear when you guys are using the transfer funds functionality in CourtView is that In order to transfer funds between two cases, either both the cases have to be sitting in AR or both the cases need to be sitting out of AR. So either the cases are in AR or they're not. It can be where one is in AR and the other one is not. It will not work. If both cases are in AR, then we'll check this little box right here where it says AR question mark. In this example, both the cases are not in AR because we're not working with AR just yet. So we're going to go ahead and choose the from case. And as you see at the bottom here, it's going to come up with the receipt from, so the defendant name and then the defendant name on behalf of. Below, we're going to have some of the dockets that have money tied to them. And what we're going to go ahead and do is just set this up. So we're going to go ahead and put in the case that's going to be receiving the money, the to case. And below, once again, we'll see all the dockets that are currently outstanding for the from case. At the very bottom of the screen, you're going to see this holding accounts, which is very similar to what we saw in the costs screen on the case, where it lets you know how much is currently in that balance for the bail holding. So currently we have a $300 balance that we can work with. The judge told us that he wants to use the cash bail that's sitting in 19 TR4 to pay off the fines and fees for 19 TR5. So in order to do that, we have to select the docket on the from case. So we're going to have this little checkbox. Each of them have it. You'll see these little checkboxes to the left of every single docket. We're going to go ahead and select the docket that we want to transfer from. So in this instance, we want to go ahead and do the cash bail posted. On the right-hand side, you'll see that the admin fee and the NRS fee, they total up to $225. So we're going to go ahead and put $225 here. Once you tab off, it's not going to do anything but update this little total here for $225. So we're going to go ahead and select these two right here. It's not going to populate these fields. That's a manual process. So you're going to go ahead and put 25 there, 200 here, and then tab off. So once again, you're going to have to, it's all a manual process. You'll have to check the boxes, put in the transfer amounts, check the boxes that you want to transfer the money into, and then put in the amounts of how much that should be. So 225, we got to match at 225. We are set. Next thing you do, all you do is just hit save. It's going to be processing everything. It's going to give you one receipt, two receipts. Both of those are going to be for the transfer. One of them is going to be a negative for the from because it's minusing the money out of those accounts. And then the other one's going to be a positive receipt, which is the to case, because we're adding money to that case. So I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel on those ones because I don't need them. It's going to throw some dockets to let us know that there was some transferring going on between these two cases. So we can go ahead and hit save on both of those. We have no other option but to actually hit save. You can put in some comments if you'd like to, but I'm just going to go ahead and hit save on both. At the very bottom left-hand corner, you'll see that it says store successful. That's all we have to do. We're all set. Now we can just hit close. It's going to give you a warning saying if you want to make these save these changes, you can just hit OK because we're not going to save anything anymore. It already told us that the store was successful. We're all set. So we go ahead and hit OK. Another thing to keep in mind that's very important is the fact that we aren't finished yet. Once we transfer out that money, the last thing that we have to do is go into the case that had the money, so the from case, and dismiss whatever we transferred out of it. So let's go ahead and take a look and see how that is. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of everything. I'm going to go over to modules, case management, functions, case initiation, and for this one, our from case where we transfer the money from is 19TR4. Search, we got our case here. We open, and I want to go ahead and show you what that looks like. So we're going to go over to the dockets, and as we said earlier in these videos, you'll see now that there is an amount due of $225. This docket was completely paid off, but since we went ahead and transferred some money from this docket into another case, it now shows that there's $225 outstanding on this case. So in order to remove that, we actually just have to go back into this docket and dismiss it. So again, just to kind of reiterate what happened is once we transfer the funds, we have to go into that from case, locate the docket that the money was transferred from or out of, and dismiss how much was transferred. So we're going to go to the cash bail posted docket, highlight it, open it, go over to the dismiss cost, third Dynalink, add a record, and we're going to the drop-down menu. There should be an option here for transfer funds. Unfortunately, it's not here for me, but it absolutely is available to you guys. So we're just going to go ahead and put just some dismiss due to clerical error. We'll go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and put how much was actually transferred, which was the 225. That makes the docket 0. Transferred funds from 19TR 4A to 19TR 51A. There we go, per judge. So we want to add in our comments just to include, just to have that that audit trail going on. Save, includes that, cancel or close, save, and now the 225 has been dismissed and we're all set to go. And that right there is how we transfer funds.